Hi, how are you today? Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Lynn. Welcome to my channel. Guys, I turned 22 today. I am so excited and I'm going to share with you 22 lessons I've learned in my day. I'm hoping that you learn from it, and also please comment as a 22-year-old or as someone older or younger, what have you learned? I need more lessons, okay? Stay tuned. The first lesson I've learned, and this is very close to my heart, I've learned that I do need God in my life. I have so many instances where I don't know what would have happened if I did it alone. 2 years ago, my family and I were traveling to Nairobi from Korea. Upon reaching Kaplong, we got into an accident. And well, I can't describe what happened because, well, I was asleep. Anyway, all I saw was that the car came to a sudden stop and there was a crowd already gathered there. Hey, that happened so fast. I don't know if we're usually at the roadside waiting or I don't know. Actually, there was no time to think. I remember I was being carried out. My sister was being carried out by another person. My brother was there helping out, and everyone was out of the car except my mom. I was so desperate to help her out. I was puking from the impact. My chest was in a lot of pain. Yet I so wanted to help her out. And of course, I couldn't do that. And my thoughts at that moment was that this guy is going to blow up. I'm ashamed to think like that. I think that is from watching too many movies. But I thought that is what was going to happen. So I didn't understand why there was no sense of urgency in helping her out. I mean, there was going to be a fire. Anyway, people came and helped, and in no time we were in a lorry on our way to hospital. Actually, when there's an accident, you're not consulted on anything. People take charge to help you. And I'm so grateful for all the help we got that day. I'm so grateful. We got to hospital and we were attended to promptly. I really appreciate that. And in no time, we were in a stable condition to be able to make phone calls and even make arrangements for us to travel to Nairobi to another hospital. Yeah. While we sat there waiting for the police to come and take our statements, my mom started crying, and of course, I cried with her. I didn't understand what was going through her mind, but I felt her pain. And she told me that a few weeks ago, our pastor had reached out to her, telling her that he'd been shown by God that we'll be involved in an accident, and that he pleaded with God, please don't let anything happen to them. Our pastor even said that God assured him that we'll be okay. And actually, we were. My sister is the one who broke her arm and leg. My mom was also hurt, but my brother and I were fine. I mean, we just couldn't laugh or cry nanguvu because the impact was great on our chest, but that was the only problem, laughing. You know how much I love laughing. So that was the only problem with me. I even had to go get checked that my ribs were okay so that I could laugh some more. But I was okay. There was nothing wrong with us. Imagine, nothing. We were okay. And I can't forget that day. That is just one instance of how God has come through for me. There are times I feel my heart is so heavy and I want immediate peace. And I would kneel down to pray. Immediately I'm done. I am in so much peace. Hey, it's weird. It's beyond my understanding. It's beyond I don't understand how he works. But I will be okay. There are times I've asked for something specific and I've gotten it. I could sit here for days, for weeks, just telling you the different ways God has been good to me. Yeah, I need God. I need God. And it doesn't matter how far I get. I need God. Thank you so much, God, for this far. Yeah, I need Him. Generally, you should not care what people think of you, but at times you should. And it's not always negative. You may end up learning more about yourself that you didn't even know. Have you heard of or have you seen someone who's extremely beautiful and people think that's true, but they don't believe that, or they don't even see that? Or maybe there's this strength you have that you do not know about. Our compound was being renovated a few weeks ago, and I was working with one of the fundis, of course, paying them, ensuring their work was well done. I told you I'm studying to be a construction manager, so my dad helps me to manage them and to learn while on the job. And I was told that he was complaining, hey, kudili na boke ni ngumu. And I didn't understand. I think I was quite offended because I didn't understand. What do you mean I'm difficult? And just weeks later, someone I've employed in my shop back at home also tells mom, hey, Boke akona msimamo mgumu. So, it now made me think, oh, as in it means this is actually true. Eh? It can't be that two different people, and I'm sure they're not the first, who think I'm a bit tough on them. And it hit me that is something positive, because in this case, you've employed someone and you want results. You can't be all soft. In the end, you find a way to work together. And also, you'll get results. You'll get what you want. And this person also know your standards. Boke standards zake ziko hapa, kwa mfano. So I will work to get to those standards. I could decide to take it negatively, or I could decide to not care what people think. But in this case, I learned something about myself. And I think that is a good thing. Other times it could also be correction. You're not supposed to care, but, well, someone has corrected you. And you could take time to analyze if it's actually constructive, ama this person is trying to put you down. But if it's positive, then you take it. That is what they think. And if you think about it and you see it applies to you, then what is wrong with that? So I think that you should care at times what people think. Another thing I've learned is that results will show what you've been putting in. We've planted grass and flowers in our compound recently, and those require a lot of attention and care. Yani, in the weeks where we've watered the flowers in the morning and evening versus the weeks where we've watered them sparingly, maybe once a day, or not, maybe once in 2 days, the results are so different. And I'm going to show them to you. I mean, it is strange. Yani, it will show. And that is just with the grass. Also with everything else. For example, working out. It may take long, but you'll start to feel lighter. You start to feel more fit. You start to see that you're losing weight or gaining muscle, if that's what you're aiming for. You will see. It may take long, but you will see. Even with studies. When you study for a whole term versus when you study the last 2 days to exams, it will show. There's some depth of understanding you get when you study over a long period versus this last minute cramming. It will be seen. I promise it will be seen. And that is a good thing. If you decide that I am committed to do this thing, you're sure it will show. I promise it will show. And even with my content, there's some time when I'm fully committed, I put a lot, I'm uploading regularly, I'm putting in more work. It can be seen in terms of watch hours and the number of people who subscribe to my channel, versus that time when maybe I've been gone for a while doing my exams or maybe just resting. It will be seen. Watch hours come down, subscribers come down. It always shows. It always shows. So don't give up. If you're doing anything, be sure whatever you're putting in has an impact. It does. I have learned to be intentional. Everything I do because I want to. Everything I do because I planned to do it. Hence, I find myself having very few regrets because I meant to do that. And of course, I thought through and I felt it was right for me, so I do it. Let people be. I've come to realize that I like controlling things and situations. I'm a planner. I want to know what will happen at this exact time. I want to know how this will play out. But you can't do that with people. You'll expect a certain person X to do this. They won't do it. Or they will not meet your standards. So I've learned that what I can control is me and maybe a few other circumstances, but not people. Just let people be as they are. I was once a prefect and I came to learn people. I sat and learned, hey, this person, ako hivi na ako hivi. So even if I'm assigning work or if I'm asking them to do something or in dealing with them in general, approaching them for different things or in dealing with them generally, I learned to deal with them according to how they are. I did not try to change. I did not try to change anyone. Because, well, that's a very difficult thing to task yourself with. So I don't control people. I just let people be who they are. And it was actually great because when their strengths are in this and you put them there, they'll do the best. You didn't have to change them to force them to do this other thing. And those on this side also do their best because that is who they are. So I've learned to let people be, and that gives you a lot of peace. Imagine trying to control someone. Imagine how many disappointments are awaiting you. That is very difficult and exhausting. I wouldn't want to do that. So I let people be. And people will surprise you. They actually, people are good. They will surprise you if you just let them be who they are. Not trying to force things, not trying to force people. I mean, why? You have your own life. Why would you want to force your values onto people? Why would you want to force things on people? Just let people be. I have learned that change is inevitable. And that is a good thing and a bad thing too. It may be a bad thing, for example, when you're in a good place in your life and things change. But it's also a good thing to give you hope when things are not okay. Things change, people change, and it goes back to you can't control someone. You can't control some things. They just happen, and you have to be ready for change. Well, I've told you about my shop back at home. When I opened it around Corona period, and I was making a lot of sales because it was located at the center of town. So I had so many clients, those traveling, those who come there to sell their goods on market days. It was a perfect location to put your business. You know what? Just before I came back to school, the market was shifted to another place. Imagine. You don't want to know how many clients I've lost and how business has changed because of the location. Someone may want to come to your shop, but there's something closer to where they are. On market days, which is on Wednesday, everyone converges at one point, the other market, where your business is not. So Wednesdays are no longer busy days for us. Business has been slow, but that is okay. I've tried to adapt to the change. I've put those things that you won't find even in the other market. You'll be forced to come to my shop. Point is, things change. In 1 second, I was booming. Months later, that was not the case. Things happen, and that is okay. your attitude towards the situation or what you do about that situation is what matters at the end of the day. I have learned that anything can be learned and mastered. Any skill, anything you're trying to get better at. For example, if you're trying to be, let's say, classy, you may start to learn about maybe etiquette, dining etiquette. You may start to learn how to walk, how to speak. Anything can be learned. Have you ever seen those people you meet and you feel they have everything in order? They know everything. You speak of this subject, they are knowledgeable. You have this other subject, they can also contribute a bit to that subject. Hey, you admire those people. And imagine you can do it. Imagine you can learn it all. I can decide today that I want to learn a bit about rocket science. And we use that as an example a lot because we think, we say that is the hardest thing, and maybe it is. But I can learn a bit about it, a few facts again. When we are talking, I also throw that in. When you talk about another topic, I'm also in. And it's a good thing because you're able to, your views of the world change. You know about, for example, how Portuguese live, how the Chinese live. Imagine you know everything about the world, and all that can be found through books, internet. Yani, you can learn anything. Yeah, and I love that. So I am always learning. When I'm editing my videos or when I'm speaking or even when I watch a movie, I'll find a new word and I would stop, go and look it up, and wow, I learn, oh, so this is what this word means, and next time I'll try to throw it in a conversation, and that way my vocabulary has grown. Recently, when I was editing the video of Harvest Restaurant Review, I was looking for the word semi-outdoor. And of course, we know what it means in layman's term. We just semi-outdoor, almost outdoor. Anyway, I went and looked it up and so this is exactly what it means. It's a space on the inside that tries to imitate what the outside conditions are. For example, we put in plants or we have an atrium which allows in more light, natural light, so that we don't have to use bulbs and other forms of lighting. That way I've learned, I now understand it in depth. This is what semi-outdoor means. Yeah, and you're able to notice it when the next time when I interact with such an environment. I've learned, this is what it is. Yeah, so I learn at every point. One day I'll be like Pielo Lumumba. I've learned to remind myself of my goals. I write a lot. I have, of course, the phone notebook because it is easily accessible. When I come up with a thought, I'll write it down. When I come up with an idea, I'll write it down. So I was going through my notes since 4 years ago. And it's always been, I've always been the one to say I don't want to be employed. I want to have my own businesses. I want to do my thing. And I realized, imagine I wrote that 4 years ago. Yet I thought it was some new discovery that that I don't want to be employed. But turns out it was there all along. Lynn Kitchen Gallery. I've wanted to do that for the longest time. And it just takes, once you write something down, it's almost like a first step. So at times when you feel like you've lost direction or you feel like you don't know what to do at the moment, you could go back to what you wrote before, or you remind yourself what you once wanted, and you may find yourself still wanting the same thing. So I do that and follow through with what I'm supposed to be doing, and that has helped me a lot. Even this video, I thought of it a while back. Yeah, and I've come to actualize it eventually. Health-wise, I've learned to listen to my body. Your body tells you everything. Before you faint, you will feel dizzy. Well, I've never fainted, but I think that's what happened. When you're feeling tired, your body communicates. When you're feeling thirsty, it does communicate. I feel everyone should listen to what your body is saying and actually do that. If you need to take water, if it means If you're feeling fatigued throughout the day, it means you need more rest. And you need to listen to that. Because the more you ignore it, it will accumulate to be something bigger that I don't think you want to deal with. Yeah, so I listen to my body. Even if I'm studying and I feel like sleeping, I will just sleep. If I'm tired, maybe I'm in town, I have a lot of errands to run, I will find somewhere and sit for a few minutes. If I feel like my mind, there are times when you feel there's a lot of noise in your head, I'll find something relaxing to listen to. I'll look at a beautiful painting, maybe of waterfall or something, to make myself relax. I mean, I obey my body a lot. And I feel it serves me because it's one thing that will carry me through. And I thank it. I actually talk to my body. I talk to it. I may sit at the end of the day and listen to myself. Okay, how are you feeling today? Yeah, well, I'm feeling a slight headache. I'm feeling tired. I will listen to it and I'll say, for example, hey, I need to work out some more. I've become less fit. Hey, I need to do this some more. My body needs it. Yeah, I obey my body a lot and it feels great. I have learned to rest and unplug. I had a teacher who used to say, who is that sleeping? Do not sleep. You can only rest when you die. You will rest in the grave. And in the moment it was funny and well, true, we were candidates, but I do not subscribe to that anymore. Let me tell you. If I feel I'm tired at any point, for example, with social media or just anything, imagine I will just shut it down and I will disappear for even 3 days until I feel I'm replenished and I'm able to come back again. I will just disappear because I'm taking care of me. Yeah. At that time, I may need to reset. I may need to get my energy back. So I'll just stop everything at that point. If I'm tired also, I will just stop and rest. I sleep early. Actually, a lot of people make fun of me. I sleep by 9. I'll be asleep. That is my rest time, and it doesn't matter what is going on. It's like my body already has that clock. When 9 reaches, my body wants to shut down. Yeah, I allow it because I need that rest. The next morning, I wake up feeling so energized. I'm able to accomplish so much. Hey, so I rest. I unplug and rest whenever need be, and that is okay. I've learned to maximize the time when I have a lot of energy. We all know our bodies, and some of us are more active in the morning, others late at night, others during the day. And for me, it's in the morning. When I sleep at 9, I wake up at 5, and I get to do a lot between 5 and 8 or 5 to 7. I accomplish so much. I can't compare what I accomplish in that time to what I accomplish through the rest of the day. So I maximize in the morning because mchana, a lot of things may happen. Someone may drop by unexpectedly, or a lot just happens. Between 5 and 7, I feel that some people are still asleep. So maybe no one will reach out to you at that time. It is quiet. Yeah, and now I'm just fresh from sleep. So I maximize a lot because I know throughout the day I may not get much done. So whenever I feel, or at times energy comes when I least expect it. I just feel like I feel like studying, or hey, I have energy to shoot a video today. I'll stand up and do it at that time because after 3 hours I may not feel as energized as I was. So yeah, I maximize the time I have energy. I have learned that there are times you have to force yourself to get things done. An example is working out. Your body does not want to struggle, but you'll have to force it. You have to force it to achieve results. And that applies to every other area of my life. I don't have to always feel like doing something. At times it is necessary that a certain thing is done. So I do it regardless of my feelings. I do it regardless of me being tired. I have to do it because, well, it is a must. It is mandatory that that thing is done. No one owes you anything. Maybe in the case we may feel entitled, it may be with our parents, but even with that, I feel they don't owe me anything. Of course, they've given me education, good health care, good life, but they don't owe me anything. I know one day I'm going to give it back. And of course, they've not made it like a condition that I'm taking you to school so that you pay me back. That is not it. But I know I take everything they give me so positively. Yani, imagine, for example, when someone gives you 1,000 shillings and they are making 30,000 per month. That is a whole day. They went to work for a whole day for you to give you that 1,000. I never take anything for granted. I appreciate they give me this, they give me that. But I try to make it better. Come on, the parable of the talents. They'll give me this and I'll try to make more of it. Because I know the people who have parents, maybe they are not in their lives. So, huyu wangu mwenye yuko, I appreciate that. I appreciate that 500 shillings. I appreciate that 100 shillings. I appreciate that moment you come to see me. I mean, it's not a must. It's their responsibility, but it's not a must. There are those who decide not to perform their responsibilities anyway. So I take everything with a lot of gratefulness. Yeah, because they could have chosen not to. And that is just with my parents. Imagine a random stranger. And you feel entitled that your friend should do this. Or a certain person should do this. Appreciate everything that comes. No one owes you anything. They don't have to do anything. They do it because they are a good friend. They do it because they love you. Or they do it because they're just nice. But not everyone is like that. So do not go demanding anything. Yeah. Find what you love doing and keep doing it. For me, you all know it's cooking. And I told you I went to Boma 4 years ago for a short course. I enjoyed myself. As a chef, you'll have to stand a lot of the times, and I love sitting. But through that, we had 4-hour lessons, and we wouldn't sit for even a second. I tell you, I wouldn't feel tired. I left there still feeling so energized. Yani, it was like, it didn't even feel like work. Yeah, so, and I enjoy it. Whenever I'm stressed, I cook. Whenever I'm feeling like I need to treat myself, I cook. So I find what I love doing and I keep doing it. I tell you, it gives you a lot of energy. It makes you feel like you have a lot of control. It makes you feel like you're good at something. Like, it's a confidence booster, because at times other things have failed around you, but this one, you're good at it. In any room, you have authority to speak over it because you have mastered it. Yeah, and hey, that is a good thing. It's actually when I'm defining myself, kupika pia iko hapo ndani. And that is a very good feeling.